Hey, what's up guys, G1X here, and today I thought we'd take a look at Hasbro's Star Wars 6-inch Blackline series, the Imperial Shadow Squadron. Now these guys are a Target exclusive. You can get them online or you can get them in store. I think they are just now starting to show up in the store, so if you do want to get this set over here, that's the only place you're going to be able to get it. If it's going to be released later on anywhere else, I'm not really sure, probably not. But I did want to do this review as a side-by-side comparison because we recently got the Biker Scout, which was $40, and this guy, he was one of the first in wave 1, I believe, and this was the Sand Trooper. He was $20, but you get this set for $50. So what you kind of look at this is $60 and this is $50, so why $10 less? And what did they cut? Because you know they're not just going to give you like $10 for free or give you some kind of discount on getting something in exclusive. They're probably taking some things away. So that's what we're going to kind of break down. What are they taking away? Do you get less paint applications? Do they take accessories away? What kind of things like that? So we're going to dive deep into this. And I can already tell you that regardless of how I feel about this set, I would still get it just because of the fact that I'm wanting to collect all these guys, or at least the ones that belong in the original trilogy, you know, episodes 4 through 6, just because that's where my love for Star Wars goes. But as far as quality, you know, we can kind of judge throughout the video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first off, we'll take a look at the Shadow Stormtrooper Commander. It's pretty basic. You do see that he does have some similarities to that of the Sand Trooper. So he's got this extra little shoulder pad here, which looks pretty nice. You can see that gun there, it's not actually a black. To kind of show you, you know, there's the Sand Troopers. You can see his is more black, where this guy's is more of... if I can find on here, if you can kind of see where this isn't necessarily black, it's kind of a navy looking color. You can kind of see it on this gun. It's more of a kind of a navy or charcoal looking color. But I think it looks fine. I would have liked some nice details in that, but they didn't give that to us on the original. They just gave us a plain black one, so it doesn't really matter. And that's pretty much the way it looked like in the show anyway, or the movies. So not a big problem there. Maybe if it was scuffed up a little bit, that would have been nice. But you can see this guy has your basic articulation that we've seen with all these 6-inch Blackline series figures. There's some nice paint here at the helmet. If you can see, you know, the gray back there. We'll go ahead and focus up there. Some gray, some little lines. You can see here on the face as well. Some silver paint, some more gray going around there. So I do like that little added touch. Also, you see, I don't know how well it's picking up in the light, but this is actually kind of that, I'm just going to call it navy. You know, on top of that black, and you can see that there's black throughout here, so you can see that it's two different colors there. And the little belt around here, it's also kind of like that navy color, it looks like, or at least the pockets are. We'll get into articulation here in a minute. I did want to show this guy off, side-by-side comparison with your Sand Trooper, that you can just pretty much pick up anywhere. I believe he was in Wave 1. But you can see that this guy comes with just a little bit more. So as you can see on, you know, on his little satchel thing over here, I don't know how well it's showing up. You can see some like little gold studs. The same on this guy over here, where he doesn't have any of that, so he's missing some of those paint applications. Didn't necessarily have to make them gold, but if you would have painted them like silver or something like that, they kind of match a little bit of this. I think that would have been nice. The other thing is, if you take a look at the gun, obviously a big change there, to where this one's black, it's got some nice gold on there, it's got this gray strap here, you know, brown, you can see some more gray, so really nice looking gun there. We'll go ahead and take those off, so you can get a little bit better look at them. But obviously they were able to cut some of the costs there. Doesn't really bother me that much. Would have been nice though if... Yeah, there we go. Let's focus. If they would have put maybe just like a little bit of silver paint somewhere in this guy, where you have that gold. If there was just a little bit of silver paint, or just, you know, maybe made the handles black, just something to spice it up a little bit. Because remember, this is an exclusive. So whenever we hear or we attach that name exclusive to things, especially, you know, catered to the adult collectors, you just kind of expect a little bit more. I was actually kind of surprised by the price. So there's the guns. We'll take a look at some of the other things here in a bit. Here's another gun that does come with the Shadow Squadron. You get this little sniper rifle. I kind of give this to the Biker Scout if he's not on his speeder bike. But just an extra little gun. Again, it's just all that one solid navy color piece. So it's a little cheap in my opinion. Would have been nice if would have got a little bit of silver here, you know, or a little bit of black or something like that. Still kind of stays in that same color that scheme that they're doing with the black and the navy and the silver. So wouldn't really, you know, branched out too much there. But you know, taking a look at these guys, the other thing that you'll notice is the Shadow Squadron guy, or the Shadow Squad guy, or whatever. He does not have a backpack. So this whole piece right here, he does not come with, and it wasn't really, you know, not really much to it. Just a really solid piece of plastic here, but you can see some mold details, some paint details, and stuff like that. So that's one of the areas that where they were able to cut the cost. And if I didn't get this, and this was one of the reasons why I get you know, this exclusive for $10 less because I didn't get this. I didn't think he necessarily had to have that, and I kind of like the way he looks this way anyway. So yeah, I'll definitely save $10 and you can take that away. But we'll look at those two guys. We'll take a look at the articulation. I've already seen this weapon here, the same as the other blaster. But as far as his head does rotate, has a ball joint up there. It also has a swinging joint here at the neck, so the neck can go back and forth, just like so. I just want to make sure everything's focused for you. The shoulders, you can see that they go in and out a little bit. It's kind of hindered by this little shoulder pad here. I think this one is too. That one's got a little bit more. But they also rotate here at the bicep. You know, this shoulder, it swings back and forth. The elbow does bend. Yeah, it's just that in the bicep there. The hand does rotate, and it goes back and forth on a joint inside the hand as well. The waist, it does have an ab crunch, so move that around and spin them around. The legs go forward about this much and back. They can also go in and out. Does have a little bit of rotation there at the thigh, if you can see that thigh cut in there. It's a little hard to see because of the black. Does have really nice double knee joint. And the foot goes back and forth. And it also, you know, rotates there as well. So there's a look at those guys. Not too bad. I do like this guy. Really never had any problem with the just, you know, regular stormtroopers or sand troopers as far as the legs go. But let's get into the Scout, Biker Scout. He's the one that I've always had problems with. Right now, let's take a look at the Speeder Bike and the Shadow Biker Scout, or whatever they're calling him. But one of the things that I really have a problem with, the way that Hasbro has done the packaging, especially with these Speeder Bikes or Biker Scouts, is their package just really tight, and I don't know how long they're staying in there, because as soon as they're hitting the shelves, they're flying off, right? Especially whenever I'm buying them. I'm getting them like the day that they hit the shelf. I went through 3 of these guys before I found one that didn't have his visor bent. His legs weren't all like weird. It looked like it was misassembled, but it's because they are packaged with him leaning over, and everything's pressing in on, you know, these knees, especially his left knee is the one that you have a problem with a lot. You know, just all types of things. You know, these little handlebars are being bent. You know, they're, you know, little things like this. I don't know if anyone's had any problems with that, but I could see that this, you know, bending very easily. I know one of my buddies, he had a ton of problems with, you know, his Biker Scout, and he lives overseas, so him getting or obtaining one is a little bit harder. And he, you know, like me, I was able to pick 3, and I picked the best one on my 3rd try. Him, it's kind of like he got his, and he just had a ton of problems. Well, the same thing on this. They're packed in there because they want to show off that, hey, this is supposed to go on there, and it also saves on space as well. But in the process, you're kind of messing up the figure, and we'll get into that whenever we get him off his little speeder bike here. But one of the things that I wanted to point out with this guy, or at least the speeder bike, is you still get the stand here, but while you can definitely see that, you know, this guy on the original had like these little silver scuffs. Now, some people don't like that. I know my buddy, you know, Luke, Action Jackman, he didn't like that because he was like, you know, it's really cheaply done. Like, you're trying to make like this is some kind of battle damage, or, you know, it's just scuffed up and stuff like that. It's really sloppy done. You know, like I could have went in there and just put some like little gray paint in just little places. You know, it's not really that big of a deal. But if it would have looked a little bit more with a black wash or, you know, a silver wash to it, then it would have looked so much better. Well, this guy, they just left that off completely. And, you know, honestly, I do like that a little bit better. Because just like my buddy Luke said, you know, if I wanted just some, like, silver paint, like right here and right here, then, you know, I can easily do that myself. There's no reason why. And then I can do it the way that I want to do it. So it's just completely black. You can see that they have the little logo here at the front. They also have it here on the back. He's got it on his chest as well. So just a little something different. You can see with the control panel to where they did this silver and they painted that little button red and left those other little controls black. Well, this is kind of like a black, or it even looks kind of that navy color, but they got the button red and the other three silver. So I do like that they did paint those 3 buttons there silver. Taking a look at the side, you can see that they have some of that kind of engine look where it's that silver. Again, that's something that if they wouldn't have done it, you could have done it yourself. It's very simple. You could have put some silver paint on there. You know, we'll move that guy to the side. On him, they didn't do that. They just left it that, you know, kind of gray color there. So if you wanted to kind of maybe put some black paint on there, or even around this area to kind of make it look like he's, you know, not a very good driver, and, you know, runs into bushes and all kinds of stuff like that all the time, then you can definitely make him look that way if you wanted to customize it any. Back here to the back, you can see that these little things do open still and reveal part of that the engine, I guess, or whatever you want to call that. And he's got his little satchel back here. Again, it would have been nice if this was kind of a different color, but there's just a lot of black, and I guess that's all right. But let's take a look at the figure, because the figure is one of the things that really, really bugs me. So we'll take a look at that. Alright, something I wanted to show you guys before we got into the Biker Scouts. You can see the handlebars, just because of the packaging, that I've had the figure on this guy for about a month now, and you can see they've kind of straightened out as his, you know, hands have held him into place for a while. I've actually had the other character for the Shadow Squad sitting on its own and not on the bike itself, so that's why it still looks bent, and this is the way that it comes out of packaging. Actually, I've kind of messed with it a little bit, so it actually looked worse when it first came out of packaging. But just to kind of give you an idea, if you let the figure set on it for about a month, you can see that it'll kind of start to straighten itself out. So just a little tip for you guys. But let's go ahead and move into the figures. And there we have the original, and here we have the exclusive here. And you can see quite a few differences with them. You can see that this guy's got a little bit of sandblast to him, while this guy is obviously, you know, got that nice black armor look where the navy is underneath where, I guess, where his clothes would be. Just a little hard to come up on camera, but hopefully you can kind of see that. You can definitely see that that's black, and that's kind of a navy, and then that's black and navy again. But on both of them, I've messed with these legs. I've been running them under hot water, trying to bend them back and forth and get the boots done correctly. You can see what I'm talking about, where the legs are kind of misshapen, especially whenever you try to look at, you know, some of the other ones where you look at this guy, his legs are perfectly fine. All the other figures I could bring to you, and you look at them, the legs are perfectly fine, except for these guys that were packaged where they are riding something. So that's the only problem that I really have with this guy. The other thing it's kind of minor, and it's hit or miss. This guy, his visor is perfectly fine, or at least in my opinion. It's the best one that I could find. You can see that it's still a little bit coming over this way whenever you look at the black visor, and then you kind of look at this little thing over it. You look at this guy, it's hard to see because the visor is also black, but it's bent in a little bit, and I've been trying to kind of work this out some, but it's something that you really can't tell until you get the figure out of packaging, because I kind of went there on the Target floor like a 4-year-old, and I'm like, which one looks a little bit better? You know, all you guys do it. You know, you're like, if there's 4 selections, you're gonna look at all 4 of them, and you're gonna be like, okay, well, this one's better than this one. Okay, now off to the next one, and okay, this one's better than this one. You put that one back, and that way you get the best version. Well, it's really hard to do with this guy with the visor because the packaging, it's pushing right up against that, so you really don't know until you get it out of the box. But let's go ahead and take a look at both of these guys. You can see there's some nice paint throughout here. You can see the little spot there. There's also some paint right there. Spin this guy towards the back. Whoops. You can see there's some, nice little silver right here. Also on the back of the helmet, you can see that there's some nice paint, so very nice. Do you have that little red spot on the little backpack thing there? You can see a black line going around here. Would have been nice if we could have got some silver. You see some silver paint there where that's black. And also here on the belt, again, you get a little bit of extra paint there. You don't get it on this guy. So, overall, the figure isn't that bad. It's just the things you have to worry about is the visor, and obviously the legs are going to kind of be bad. The articulation is exactly the same, I believe. You just rotate the head. It's on a ball joint. This also kind of goes back and forth. The shoulders, the armor piece just goes above that piece right there, so it has quite a bit of movement there. Rotates there. He does have bicep swivel. His elbows do have double joints. It does come with a little gun that fits in his ankle, as you can see. It does rotate here at the wrist. This wrist bends front and back, just because of the way that he hangs onto the handlebars. And I believe, this one's done to where most of the time, if this one goes front and back, this one goes back and forth. This one goes the same way as this one, so front and back, so that he can hold onto those handlebars. The ab crunch area, you can see that it's kind of limited just because of this section that goes around here. Then he does have leg articulation, quite a bit, actually, more than a Stormtrooper, just because he's going to be sitting on that bike. You can see the thigh cut there. You can also see double jointed knees there. You do have a rotation here at the boot, and this little bottom section of the foot can go back and forth this way as well. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Just a couple of things I wanted to make sure that you're aware of, so that you're able to keep your eye out. Make sure that you didn't get a bad figure, because there are bad ones out there. Is it worth $50 in my opinion? Yeah, I think it is, just because of the fact that you get two $20 figures and you're getting this speeder bike for basically $10. So it's not too bad, and they're black. If you're a collector of the Black Line series or 6-inch series, then this is something that I think you would enjoy. It's just, they had to take away a few things to get at that price point. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Talk to you guys later. Peace.